Okay, so I actually took some notes while I was watching this show. Okay, so as the second girl came along, and um, she was, well, the second girl came along, and I was just thinking, like, well, she seems like she was a forgiving spirit. She was a church woman. Um, all of the men was, she was physically attracted to all of these men, but they kept basically saying how they wasn't really attracted to her. And I was just like, at least they was honest about the physical appearance. There was another guy that was nitpicking a lot. Um, um, she said that she doesn't want a man with cats, and instantly the other guy was like, you know what? You know, I have cats. So she instantly told him, well, he instantly told her, no, I don't have cats. The fourth guy seems like he was a nitpicker because he was someone like she saved herself from. It seemed like, she definitely saved herself from him because he was a nitpicker. He was talking about, I don't like your toes, you got something on your teeth, and this and that. But the fact that she, the lady asked, she was like, well, is he your type? And she was like, yeah. And I'm just like, wow. So this guy is actually your type. He's sitting there telling, basically nitpicking at you, but it didn't bother her. Maybe she got thick skin. I don't know, but I was just like, no comment because that's something she knows. That's why I said she's in like a very forgiving and gentle spirit, so I guess it doesn't get to her. And like I said, she could be a woman with thick skin because of the fact that didn't get to her. And he was still her child. So I mean, he was still her type. So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it is about the appearance with him, and maybe it's more so about the appearance with these guys. None of these guys actually got to the point where they actually asked her any questions, or like she didn't even get to that point with them. It never actually got deep. So before she just got, she wanted to get popped out. So the third girl, she was she was basically talking about, internal matters, and she's looking for a guy that will, fit the description, characteristics, more so personality, but at the same time, I'm just like, you talking about interior matters, but every time, she got a pop or something, she will revert back to, oh, well, physically, she was talking about how they was dressed and stuff. Oh, you're not my match, you're not my match. She wound up finding a lot of guys. Well, it was only five guys. So, um, the one guy she did wind up being a match with. Well, she didn't match up with him, but he was more her type. So she was like, yeah. So then, oh, and she also mentioned about porn addiction, and I'm just like, yeah, this that's a big factor with me because I had a lot of guys, well, not a lot, but there was a couple relationships where porn was an issue for me because I just I just didn't find like what was the purpose. I always thought like, okay, porn was something that you turn to when you're single, when you don't have that partner, you don't have that spouse, you're not sharing that moment with. So it's for you to, do what you got to do as a single person. But if you're my partner, I don't expect you to be watching porn because I feel like I should be that person. I should be that person to where um I can meet those needs, and it just gives me like, why am I not that person? You're making me feel insecure because you're looking at these women on porn as though I'm not enough. So yeah. So the second guy seemed really picky. Maybe at one point I'm thinking like maybe he's not interested in black girls because of what he was the way he was nitpicking with all these girls. Like he even this was a attractive woman, and he even she was physically fit. So the other girl, he was just like, you're not my type, the nails and this and that. So I guess it wasn't about the body wig or the body, but more so of, he may have actually been paying attention to those things. So with this girl, it didn't seem like nothing was an issue, but he wound up popping his balloon with her too. Um, I forgot his reason though. I don't think he really had a reason though. I don't know. I forget his reason. We'll look at that in a minute. So she spoke on interior. That's what I was saying. She spoke on interior, but every time she brought up, the first thing she kept peeping in all of these guys, she stated her intention in the first. I mean, when she was standing there, like before she started going down the line, she stated that she wanted somebody interior, but she wasn't. She didn't seem like she was trying to get to know and who they were, their personality and stuff. She didn't seem like she was trying to get to know them at all. And she was just so focused on, what they was looking like. So she came to the guy Micah, for example. That was actually her type, and I was just thinking like, wow, maybe I didn't think he was her type, but he was actually her type. Like she was talking about how he was dressing nice, and he did have a good head on his shoulders. So she was talking about all of that, like he's in a good mindset and stuff like that. But he's the one that actually popped his balloon as well. He just said, as he told the first girl, their energy just wasn't, matching up. At first, I thought it was just like maybe it's that type. I felt like he was afraid that she wouldn't be interested in him, but it turns out she was interested in him. But the fact that he popped his balloon, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why he popped his balloon, but I guess he just wasn't feeling in alignment with him. Her energy and his energy with her energy and his energy just wasn't connecting. I guess that's how he felt. Um. So yeah, he wanted to be in her type though. So the fourth guy, I feel like he was looking for a challenge. I feel like he's looking for a challenge. He's not the fourth guy down the line, but the fourth guy that popped his balloon. So, and I think his name. He said his name. I forgot. I didn't even put it down. Oh yeah, his name is Danny. Okay, so he popped his balloon. Um. So the guy that was talking about it was then we came to the guy with the pet business, and I was like, a guy with a pet business, he just seemed real soft because he got a little heart for pets and he got his own little pet business. And she was like, oh, cute, and I was like, that's exactly what I thought too. So he popped his balloon. Um why did he pop his balloon? So we'll see why he popped his balloon as well. Um oh, so I guess he popped his balloon because no, it wasn't him that popped the balloon. Um, well, he popped the balloon, but another guy. It was after they all made the decision. She was down to a couple guys. She was down to, no, actually, she was down to three guys, and one of those three guys was Danny. Um, and I was like, no, Danny didn't pop this balloon. So it was three guys, and one of those guys that popped the balloon was the pet business. Um, I don't think she's the one that said it. So the other woman said the cats. Okay, so the guy popped his balloon because she was taking too long and being indecisive. So this is one of the guys where she was down to like I guess three people, but she couldn't make up her mind. She was down to three guys. She couldn't make up her mind. She was being real indecisive, and he was like, "Well, I like a girl that's, a woman that's gonna have her mind made up. You being real, you seem like, she's just like, oh, I don't know, like she about to pick out some type of, like she got these cupcakes, and she's like, I don't know which one I want. So yeah, and he was like, you taking too long, and he wanted to pop in this balloon. And I like that about him, though. That shows a lot about him. So then she was like, she said, oh, and then I guess the one guy wound up asking her about her hair. And he was like, I don't know what you look like under there. I know how you looking now, but I don't know how you looking up under there. Most likely your wig is not done. Your wig is not on point because everybody can tell you got on the wig. So basically, that's what he threw out there, and she was like, "Oh, well, you want me to take it off?" But before she said that, I don't think she was gonna take it off because um, she was talking about how her hair was down her back. She was like, well, I got hair, it's up under here, it's laid down, I got a little cut. And then she was like, my hair is down my back though. And I'm just like, okay, so when she wound up taking it off, they wound up pressuring her because I don't think she wanted to take it off. Cause I feel like she did not want to take that wig off, and she wound up taking it off. And man, when I tell you, the only thing that disappointed me and made me look at her different was the fact that she lied. If she hadn't lied, it would have been cool. She just sent me liar vibes. You just lied. Like, you could have said, my hair is, her hair was, she was bald, but she had like a little, I guess, a little fade, and it was blonde, but nowhere near down your back. But you told them that your hair was down your back, and you wound up taking it off, and they found out that she lied. But not, a lot of people, I guess, a lot of people didn't peep that. And not one of them said, "Oh, well, you said your hair was down your back. They must have bypassed that. They must have dismissed what she said." Because I remember she said, she was like, "Oh, my hair is down my back, this and that," and then she popped off her wig, and boom, no hair down your back. Like, your hair is just a fade. It's a fade blonde cut. And I'm just like, wow, why did you lie? That's the only thing that disappointed me about her. Like, I'm like, wow, you really just lied. And that would have pissed me off. Like, I would have popped my balloon. I would have been them two last people that I would have just popped my balloon right there because you lied, So, yeah. So I was like, that's an instant no for me. And then she wind up, I feel like she was kind of feeling uncomfortable. So I feel like she started feeling uncomfortable, and one of the guys popped their balloons. When she took off her hair. Well, actually, she took off her hair with the guy that popped his balloon said she was taking too long or something like that. She wound up taking off her hair. Then he already popped his balloon. He was like, whatever. But I feel like she was trying to it seemed real easy at first. It seemed real easy, but then she started to no, it started seeming like they was kind of, backing off a little bit, because it wasn't about her. I mean, it didn't become about them no more, like trying to fight their way, trying to, be perfect so that, they wanted, because you could tell they was really, really interested in her. As soon as she took off her wig, it's like she started giving them that same energy that they was giving her. So she was showing that energy back at the after she took off her wig. So now it just kind of gave like a little bit of desperate now. But before she wasn't, she wasn't like that. She was real cool, calm about everything. But I feel like they took her out her comfort zone, and that's why. But yeah. So the second to the last guy that didn't bop his balloon, he wound up having to, she wound up having to try to talk him back into it. She was like, because he asked her about kids, and she was like, do you want kids? And he was like, and she was like, no. No, she said, yeah, I'm open to kids, but I don't know if I want them. But yeah, I'm open to it. That's basically what she's saying. He was like, pop, because he didn't want kids, and she just like, well, I said this, I said that. Like, she was really trying to get that balloon back, get him to get that balloon back, And then the last guy, she wound up getting a guy by the end of the day. It was about, I guess, she said she's willing to work with a guy with distance, so that's how they wound up. But he popped his balloon though. Like, she was at no, like, all of them was popped. They wound up popping them, but then she talked her way into this guy getting the balloon back. So I was like, as soon as he popped it right then and there, I would have just been like, I'm cool. It is what it is. But he wound up popping it, and she wound up talking him back into getting his balloon. I guess she wanted that chance with him. I don't know. But I just would have left it at that, honestly. But because it's just like she tried to talk one guy out of it. Like, she tried to change his mind, then she tried to change the guy. The guy that popped his balloon last, she tried to change his mind too. So it's like, if you interested in both of them, then you just looking to, get with somebody. You just looking for somebody to take you, give you a chance. Anybody, somebody, because that's what you're giving. If you talking him out of to getting his balloon back, changing his mind, you doing the same thing to this guy. It's like, how I know if you're really interested in me for real. But I guess at the same time, I was talking on her end. At the same time, she may have been shown a little desperate, but I feel like she kind of was owed that because they made her take off her wig. You know, she was pressured into taking off her wig. She didn't want to. But at the same time, I'm just like, nah, you know. Um, just for the simple fact that you had to talk your way into changing their minds, I would have just left it at that. You know, they made up their minds. Let them, you know, let their minds be made up because. But at the same time, it's kind of, you know, I just got so many, two different perspectives. Like, okay, I got that, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, so if, I mean, he does see her. Maybe, you know, this was her first time actually, you know, taking off that wig and in front of a guy just all raw and like that. Like, that moment was the first time for her. So maybe it did do her some justice. Like, you know, this is the first time I actually approached somebody without my hair and y'all actually see me, you know, maybe this is my chance to get into a relationship without the wig on for once, you know. So maybe it was a moment for her. Now I can look at it. I can look at it in that perspective as well. So the fourth girl, so Brian was the nitpicker, but he kind of surprised me because he was actually interested. He became, you know, he showed that he showed this different side of him when the fourth girl came out. And so the fourth girl, she looked like a sort of, she gave role model vibes. Like, not role model, but she gave model vibes. Like she's a role model or something. I should get my other chair because I'm taller than that chair. This chair always looks like I'm sitting down. So okay, so yeah, she gave model type vibes. The way she came out, she was just all, you know, she was like she was a model. That's what she gave me. She gave me model type. So I feel like he was interested in her because he showed his side. He was spontaneous. He likes to be in water. And then the guy, like, he reminded me that, yeah, this is a picky guy. You know, he was picky. He was just real, real picky. Talking about the girl's feet and her teeth and this and that. But then he was talking about respect. He was like, I respect my woman. You know, I like being around the water. He likes to be spontaneous, and that's what kind of caught me. I'm like, oh, so there is, you know, there's a reason why you're that way. You know, he's more of a, I don't know, he caught my interest when he said that. Because that's kind of how I am. That's that, you know, childlike spirit in me. Like, I feel like we got that, you know, that same personality. I like spontaneous. I like being spontaneous. I like water. So he really surprised me. I'm like, wow, you know. But at the same time, you was picky. You was a nitpicker, you know, and you was being real disrespectful, but maybe he just one of them guys to where there's a lot of guys out there that's just straight up front. You know, they don't care how they come off. They just being real. You know, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. It is what it is. But when it comes to a girl that I like, that's when I'm, you know, but maybe she got to see that side of him that other girl seen because he wasn't showing that side of him with this girl. And obviously she ain't seen that side of him yet, but we got to see that side of him. So yeah, she's not basically one of the guys. She popped one of the guys' balloons because it got to the point where it was like both. It was like that. Like she got a chance to pop their balloon, and this and that. No, this wasn't the model type, was it? No, it wasn't the model one. I don't think. That might have been the model one. I don't know, but we'll see because it's the fourth girl I'm talking about. Y'all see in the video. So So, yeah, she went and popped his balloon instantly. She was like, because I'm not about to be with, hold on. She was like, because he asked her about a face tattoo, and she was like, she immediately just was like, nope, because I ain't getting no tattoos on my face, so we're going to chalk that up right now. She popped his balloon. So, basically, she don't want no man that's going to, you know, change her, is open to her changing you. You got to like me for me. If you don't like me for me, what you get is what you get. You know, so she was that. So she popped his balloon. Then they were talking about location, and I was like, location tells a lot about a person's personality. So this was the guy that the guy that made it to almost date in the first girl. You know, they was about to date, but he wanted to pop in her little ego and saying no. So yeah, she was asking about his location as well. So she asked Brian about his location, and she wound up asking this other guy about his location, Danny about his location. He was like, "No, you too far. I'm not willing to go any, travel far with you. You got to be where I'm at. You got to meet me where I'm at. So he wanted to pop in his balloon on her. So my personal opinion was that so the guy that she wound up going for was Brian. So I was just like, I hope he's ready. She's ready for him to pick her apart. Because okay, so this wasn't the model. I think the fifth one was the model. Yeah, the fifth one had to be the model. Yeah. So it wasn't this one because yeah. So this was the well, this was the fourth girl. But yeah, so this wasn't the model type yet. But yeah, my personal opinion, she wound up walking away with Brian. And like I said, he's not my. I say he was not my type. Although I like that the character like spontaneous, this and that. He cool, but the first, like I say, I had that connection with him because I like a spontaneous guy. I like water and stuff like that. But at the same time, the way he was kind of disrespectful and this and that. Nitpicking. I don't want nobody who's gonna nitpick with me. I don't want nobody messing with my confidence, messing with my character, making me feel less than my worth. So yeah, that's why I was like, no, he's not my type. So then the fifth girl, she wanted. I liked her though. She was really, really humorous. So the first guy that was talking about he don't want to be open with kids. He don't want a woman that's open to kids. And these are one of this is one of the last guys to get their balloons pop their balloon, but he was one of the guys waiting because he was real interested. So this was a model. He was really interested in her. She didn't have a lot of unpopped balloons, but she had some. She had like a few or a couple. I think she only had like a couple. So out of those two guys, she was like, she was asking him questions like she was getting kind of deep. At first, I was like, she's simple-minded, like she not really, but she wound up being a nitpicker. Like she not nitpicking in that way, but picking at his brain. Like she was asking him what bad traits do y'all have and this and that. But then the more she started asking him, the more he was like, he kind of popped his balloon because it felt like he wasn't working good under pressure. He just popped it like as a reaction. I felt like it was more so a reaction, like he didn't mean to, but it's just like I can't answer these questions. Pop, it's getting too deep for me. Pop, I feel like it was more so of a reaction because I feel like they had that connection. I really do. I feel like they had that connection, but the way she was asking them questions in front of everybody on the spot, and he was kind of, being pulled in he was kind of being put in an uncomfortable position because this is something, I will talk to you privately about. I don't want to put my business out here. So it's like, I feel like that's why he popped his balloon. And I was like, so the last guy, I was just like, man, because this is the guy that I was really interested. He gave me major pain. I was like, he favored major pain. That's what I thought. I'm like, he favored major pain. But yeah, that's the guy that really actually likes her. You could tell he liked her too. Like he felt so devastated when he was like, yeah, and she was like, no. He was not expecting that. I was like, wow. But yeah, he was so hurt. Like he wound up hugging a guy and everything. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I guess the one guy felt bothered as well, so I'm gonna have to go look at, finish up on the show through, I guess watch it, actually watch it fully through because this guy done got bothered himself. It was just getting interesting, and I'm like, dang, you just got in your feelings and just cut the video off. I was watching it. So yeah, that's my little feedback about this video. So yeah, hope y'all like it.
Bro, look, I'm gonna do a part two, y'all. I'm gonna do a part two, bro. Right now, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's the summertime in LA. It's hot. I'm hot. Bro, why she have to do all that? That's crazy. Bro had good energy, gave her compliments.